And I'm trying to look into that, but at the same time, as we see the difference is increasing between women and men participating in the labor market. At the same time, voices are heard saying that we should increase the months that are on the guarantee level. Because you see, our 16 months, 12 months, that's on your insurance level, and that is based on your individual income. That was the structure in the 70s, has always been. But now they are increasing the guarantee level months. That is given to everyone, even if you don't have any income beforehand. And now they are also talking about increasing the money you get on the guarantee level. Actually, from the back or hidden, is actually altering the parental insurance to become something else on a low level. So I think we are back to a situation where the economic incentive is not clear-cut in Sweden. And that is a disaster, because we see, do you remember what I said, gender equality is a part of social justice. It's going towards greater differences between groups, and we know that there are women with low education, newly immigrant women, there are even illiterate women, and they are not at all part of the labor. They are not economic individuals, not in any sense. But we are not talking about that. We are just saying, oh, you should have something because it costs a lot to have babies. So I think we are leaving the straight and honest discussion on a shared responsibility for the reproduction, for having children. I think that in Sweden, I think it's everywhere. It's not only, we're not only in a time where we have neoliberal economic politics, because we've had that for a while. We are heading towards conservatism. And I think that conservative forces today are very strategically smart, smarter than ever. So that is why I think that PLENT should be an alternative voice to conservatism, to neoliberal theories, because I think otherwise we will lose it. So I'm a bit concerned today in Sweden. I think we need PLENT to help us to be strong. Yeah. Wages. We know that women who live in couples who share the parental leave, we have the best wages in Sweden. So, there was an investigation on wage differences, and the single most important thing, if you want equal wages, do you want equal wages? Or do you say, oh, I would like to have less pay because I am a woman. I love that. It's in my genes, perhaps. Do you think so? No. No. So the single most important thing, that is to share the parental leave equal. It means 7% difference in the wages for women. So you cannot have equal pay if you don't share parental leave. And in the European Union, we've had the big campaign, I think you've seen it, about equal pay. And then I wrote to them and said, well, I'm for equal pay, but you will not have that if you don't have equal and non-transferable parental leave. And childcare is another thing. You cannot have men and women working, even if you have a parental leave, if you don't build childcare. It's absolutely necessary, absolutely. And it should be cheap, not expensive. and it should be available. But that is another problem in Sweden now. The child care or the child facilities that the public give to everyone who suppose there is a law in Sweden. We have the right since 1905. There's a law. But today, more and more people work in the nighttime, in the evening, on Saturdays, on Sundays. You know, all the shops are open. We want to go and buy things at 10 o'clock in the evening. We want to go to restaurants, don't we? Won't we? We want to go to spa and, you know, support ourselves with well-being, blah, blah, blah. So more and more people are supposed to work in nights, evenings, etc. But the childcare is more and more concentrated to daytime. So I think even there is we are going towards crisis, or not crisis perhaps, but we have to speak out. It's important that the voice is heard. We know what is happening. We can analyze the situation, and we do understand what should be done. I want to finish by referring to a political science researcher from Norway that I felt so inspiring in the 80s, and that is Helga Hernes. I don't know if you've heard about her. You should read her books on the welfare state, because she said in 1987, I think, that perhaps are we living in the wonderful situation where the state is women-friendly, where the reforms are friendly towards women. The Nordic welfare states are friendly. And I always felt that very encouraging, because, you know, the state has always been seen as part of the patriarchy. You know, the family and the state, these are the ones who oppress women. And someone said here, you have to start in the family. I think you can start in the state and demand reforms. I mean, because I think it is it's a difficulty. If you say we have to start in the family, then what will start in the family? What are the arguments? I think you should start in the state with strict reforms, with principles based on equal citizenship, democracy, efficiency, demography, and all these things. I don't mean that our lives are not important, because they are. Each and every one of us, we do our choices, of course. But that is something perhaps we can discuss. Don't talk about the families only, talk about the state. Thank you.